Hello everybody, Princess Pikachu here with my first ever top 10 video. In this video, I will be revealing the top 10 things that annoy me most about the Pokémon anime. Now before I get started, I do just want to clarify that these are my personal opinions, and I by no means think that everybody else should agree and share these opinions, and that I do love the anime, but there's just a few minor annoyances I've had over the years. So this is not me hating on the anime. So with that out of the way, let's get started. Here are the top 10 things that annoy me most about the Pokémon anime. Number 10. The sheer ridiculousness of the idea that a bunch of barely 10-year-old kids could go wandering around the country with no adult supervision. So basically the entire foundation of the Pokémon franchise. And no, Brock doesn't count as supervision because he himself is not even old enough to be left on his own. In no part of the world or in any era time would this ever be okay. And aren't we taught as kids to not take candy from strangers? Yet Ash and his friends all the time take food and shelter from people they don't know. There's a lot of good people out there, but there's also a lot of not so good people out there. So this whole concept just makes the series a little bit hard to believe. Not that the idea of magical creatures walking around with superpowers necessarily makes the series realistic. Just saying. Number 9. The fact that Ash and his friends never see through Team Rocket's disguises. I mean, are you serious? For one thing, Jessie and James' hair is ridiculous and you'd be able to spot them a mile away. Yet they throw on, a fake mustache or a pair of sunglasses or even just different clothes and all of a sudden they're completely different people. And let's just say we could buy the idea that they couldn't see through their disguises. There's no way Meowth could ever get away with it. He's a Pokemon. He's basically a talking cat. There's no way he could just throw on a fake beard and be a little old man or put on a fake mustache and be a news reporter. He still looks, and I'm guessing smells, assuming Pokemon have a smell, that's a different topic. But he's still a Pokemon, and there's no way he could ever just be mistaken for a human. I get that Ash and his friends are children, so they have a certain naivety about them, but come on, they don't have to be complete idiots. This just further supports my first point that they should not be allowed to wander around the country alone if they can't even see through such simple disguises. Number 8. Ash's complete disregard for his mother's feelings. He just packed up his bag on his 10th birthday and left on his adventure, which I get every new Pokemon trainer is supposed to do. But still, after a year out on his adventure, he comes home and can't spend more than a day with his own mother before he already wants to leave on the next one. And it happens time and time again. Can you imagine being his mother, always constantly worrying and missing him and just wanting to see him, and then finally he gets home and he can't get out of there fast enough? I'm just saying, maybe when you get home from Kalos, maybe grow a hard Ash and spend a week or two at home. Just saying. Number 7. The complete innocence of the show. I get that Pokemon is a franchise that is and has always been geared more towards children. But I just think children nowadays are more mature than they used to be, and they don't have to be talked down to in the anime or in the games. And just sometimes it seems that their target audience is more like 6 or 7 years old instead of supposedly 10, 11, or 12. And people like me who were about 9 years old when the series first started, I have grown up with the anime, and it would just be nice if the anime grew up a little bit more with me. I'm not saying it has to become super racy or edgy or anything, but just adding a little bit more substance to it might just make it better for everybody to enjoy. Number 6. How extremely overpowered Pikachu seems to be from the very beginning. Without any special training or reason, there's just something special about him that's always made him more powerful than your average Pokemon. And time again, he seems to do the impossible in battle. Granted, he's also lost his fair share. It has always remained hard to believe that one specific Pokemon without any reason could be so instantaneously powerful. Unless Pikachu had some previous life that we don't know about where he was trained before he came to Ash, it remains hard to believe. Number 5. How we lose touch with some of the old characters from the past. Don't get me wrong, I do like the change, and seeing as we had one protagonist this entire time, it's nice to get some new characters in. But still, you spend hundreds of episodes getting attached to these characters, and then at the end, they just go. And it's sad to see them go. So it'd be nice if they brought them back once in a while to kind of reconnect to the audience. And sure, they had like Misty in an episode or two of Advanced, and May was in a couple of Diamond and Pearl, and Dawn was in a couple of Black and White, just like I'm sure we'll see Iris or Cillian in a couple of X and Y. But still, that's not enough to really reconnect with these characters. And it's been years since we've seen Misty or May or Max. And how about Brock? We've seen him for 13 seasons, and then all of a sudden he's just gone. It would just be nice to reconnect a little bit more with these characters from the past while we still move forward and introduce new ones. Number 4. 2 words for you. Team Rocket. It's just so frustrating sometimes. They seriously need to give up on the whole Pikachu thing. And sure, Pikachu is a tough Pokemon, but it's not worth humiliating yourself and getting your ass kicked by a bunch of 10-year-olds time and time again. Do you know how many Pokemon they probably could have stolen if they just took their business elsewhere? In Series 5, it finally seemed like they were going to get a more serious and mature role. And they kind of did in a way. But they failed at that, and now they're back to their old tricks, just trying to steal Pikachu. And in every episode, it's going to be the same thing where they'll be blasting off again. Most of the time, I'm cheering for them to succeed now just because I feel so bad for them losing time and time again. I just think they should admit defeat and move on. Number 3. The oversexualization of young female characters, or every female character for that matter. I know it's always kind of been a Japanese anime manga thing, but when you're portraying such young characters and portraying this to such a young audience who's very impressionable, I think sometimes it can be a little inappropriate and send the wrong message. I mean, you have your female cops wearing mini skirts and high heels because naturally that's comfortable to catch bad guys in. And all the nurses are wearing their dresses. And even Jessie. I mean, I've heard she's a teenager, I've heard she's in her 20s, but either way, wearing a midriff-bearing shirt, a mini skirt, and thigh-high boots for everyday use is just impractical. But it's the portrayal of the young 10-year-old girls that's the most disturbing. I mean, Misty. If you saw an actual 10-year-old girl wearing like the crop top and short shorts like she wears, how uncomfortable would you be? Pretty uncomfortable, I would hope. And even Dawn with her short skirt. There's some characters that have gone better over the years, like Iris was definitely more appropriately dressed. But still, I think there's a lot more they could do to make this more appropriate for a young, impressionable audience, for both boys and girls. That being said, I'm not some crazy feminist, and this is not going to stop me from watching. It's just always mildly annoyed me over the years. Number 2. Ash Ketchum's age. This has been a popular topic among Pokemon fans over the years, especially those a little bit older like myself who remember watching the Pokemon Anime when it was new. I was about 9 years old the first time I saw the show, about the same age as Ash and his friends. But now I'm 20, something or other. We don't have to get into details. But Ash is still the same 10-year-old that I remember from my childhood. And it's just a little bit hard to swallow that all the adventures he has had from the Indigo Plateau all the way up until Kalos could have possibly happened within the course of a year. It's just impossible. So even if they aged him like a year every decade or let's say, it would just make the show that much more believable and enjoyable in my mind. Or they could even take the example of other shows like Digimon and age the original protagonist, but, just get a new cast of characters every year. But if we did that, we would age Ash, get him out of there, and then we would lose the true star of the show, which, let's face it, is Pikachu. So they're going to continue to appeal to the younger audience, and that means keeping Ash young. I won't complain, it's just, it'd be nice to see a little bit of a change. But I mean, let's look at The Simpsons. Bart Simpson has been 10 years old even longer than Ash has, so I don't think we'll be seeing Ash aging anytime soon. Number 1. And the number one thing that annoys me most about the Pokemon anime is Ash constantly losing every Pokemon League he enters. I mean, I was as disappointed as the next person when he first lost the Indigo League because his Charizard won in battle. Then at the same time I looked back and thought, you know what, this is good. It would be unrealistic if he won his first league. But then, over the years, he hasn't seemed to really gotten better. In Johto, he placed 8th, so it was a step up. And in Hoenn, 8th again. Okay, that's nice. And then in Sinnoh, he actually got a step up. He placed 4th. The only reason he really lost was because the person he was up against had like a Darkrai and a bunch of these legendary Pokemon, which in itself is another topic because that should ever be fair. But anyway, and then in Unova, he took another step back and placed 8th. I just think for this kid who always seems to be the hero in every situation and has done such amazing things, should be able to, by now, place a little bit better than top 8 in a Pokemon League. It's just been a little annoying having all these leading up, hundreds and hundreds of episodes leading up to the one moment, and then he loses. Sure, everybody loves an underdog, and they'll probably keep having him lose as long as we're watching because it's just building up the anticipation, but I'm just saying, he better place 2nd place or better in the Kalos League or I will stop watching. Not really, but I'll be really annoyed. Thank you for watching my first ever top 10 video, the top 10 things that annoy me most about the Pokemon anime. I apologize for the quality of the video. I'll be working on that in the future and hopefully bringing you guys more videos like this. Let me know what you thought. Did you agree? Did you disagree? What are some of the things that annoy you about the anime that maybe I left off my list? Subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, and I will be seeing you next time.